What the hell did I just saw? I have no idea. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Mystery Room. David DeLeon, aka Mystery Gamer X here. I just came back from watching Spider-Man Far From Home. And that was a movie. That was certainly a movie. A good movie or a bad movie? I'll let you know. This is going to be my thoughts and maybe review video. I don't know. I'll have a spoilers discussion video some other time. Right now, there's going to be no spoilers. I will not spoil anything. I hope, because I haven't done one of these movie reviews in a hot minute, I want to say. So yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home. It's the latest, newest, and freshest Marvel movie out there. MCU movie, because we got a actual Marvel movie not that long ago that I didn't watch, Dark Phoenix, because I don't know, I haven't had that much time to go watch all the movies that have come out, so I've only made time for the ones that I knew that I was gonna actually watch during the entire year. Anyways, Spider-Man Far From Home is obviously a sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, but also it is the end of Phase 4 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starring Tom Holland as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. It also has Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill, and a whole bunch of other characters, like Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan. The movie was pretty good. It was a pretty good movie, man. It was, it was another superhero movie, but it was good. It was, very good. I want to say that it's the second best Marvel movie of the year. Obviously, I don't think that anything will top Avengers Endgame this year. And as a Star Wars fan, as big of a Star Wars fan as I am, I really don't think that even Star Wars will be able to top Avengers Endgame as my overall best favorite movie of this year. And Spider-Man, honestly, it didn't even come close to being as good as Endgame. That doesn't mean that the movie's bad. Again, I enjoyed my time with the movie, and I think it's a good movie. I'm not saying it's a great movie. That is not... Those two things are not the same. Why do I say this? Well, I feel like the first half of this movie was a little bit... It was... I don't have a problem with Peter Parker traveling. Oh yeah, the premise of the movie, by the way, is that Peter Parker is on vacation. He's outside of New York. They finally took the spider away from New York and threw him to some other places. London, Prague. He was supposed to go to... I shouldn't say. No spoilers, I promise. But yeah, he goes to many different places, and he faces off against the Elementals, which are the villains or obstacles in this here movie. And he's assisted by Jake Gyllenhaal and all his smooth manliness. I mean, as his Mysterio-ness. Jake Gyllenhaal plays the character of Mysterio, who is now working with S.H.I.E.L.D., or at least with Nick Fury. I don't think that they ever mentioned the fact that they're S.H.I.E.L.D., I think. Could be wrong. Could be very wrong. But I don't think that I ever heard the words S.H.I.E.L.D. in the entire movie. The deal is that this takes place 8 months after the events of Avengers Endgame. And, Spider-Man is now on vacation and all that with his fellow classmates, some of which were also snapped away all those months ago in Avengers Infinity. Wait, 8 months after Endgame, but that's 5 years after... Yeah, it's confusing. Anyways, some of the classmates, they were snapped, others were not. That's all you need to know. You can figure out who got snapped and who didn't get snapped. Also, they tell you at the beginning of the movie, like, hey, you know this person? Yeah, they got snapped. You know this other person? No, they didn't get snapped. So, it's all self-explanatory in the movie. But yeah, I think that the beginning of the movie was its weakest part. Once it gets to the middle part of the movie, and there's some realizations and stuff going on, that's when it gets very interesting and very much a better movie overall. Like, I'm not saying the first half is horrible, but I did find it to be a little bit too samey, too much of the same old superhero thing, fighting the elementals and all that stuff. It was really felt it almost felt a little bit generic in some aspects, Jake Gyllenhaal was doing a very good job, for the most part. But then I think that he actually got more into the role of Mysterio as the movie went on, and he became way better after the second half of the movie. In terms of action, there's a lot of action in this movie, obviously. Like any other Marvel Cinematic Universe movie or any other superhero movie, there's a lot of action going on. Again, it just boils down to the first half of the movie is okay. It's okay-ish, if not a little bit generic. But then, man, it's so difficult to talk because there's a lot of spoilers in terms of why the first half is the way it is and why the second half is the way that half is. I'll just say that I really enjoyed everything that came after the first half. Like, once the second half started going, that's when I was super on board on the movie, and I thought it was pretty damn good. It did a lot of things that were pretty much entertaining, but also pretty heartfelt. I had a little bit of a problem with the comedy in this movie, if I'm being perfectly honest. I like the comedy of the Marvel movies, but once you start thinking about it a little bit more in depth, unless it's Avengers Endgame or the other Russo directed movies, the comedy is used to just take what is supposed to be serious and just dumps it down. It just dumps it down immediately. I've had a lot of problems with a lot of the comedy aspects of this whole franchise, and it's not to say that I don't like comedy. I love laughing and all that, but sometimes, Avengers managed to make it doable. They knew how to inject jokes or stupid little quips, at the right moment to liven up the atmosphere. In terms of this movie, it's much more of a comedy instead of a drama. And yeah, I understand we can't have two drama-based Marvel movies, one after the other, but there are consequences of what happened in Avengers Endgame that I felt like they just took for laughs a little bit too much in this movie. In terms of the actors, Tom Holland, besides the PS4 Spider-Man, Tom Holland is definitely my second favorite Spider-Man now. I just love Yuri Lowenthal doing the voice of Spider-Man in the PS4 game, and he really that character really is very, very, very amazing. At least the Peter Parker, because I've also seen Into the Spider-Verse a few months back. That movie was also amazing in its own right, but that's a much more Miles Morales story than a Peter Parker one. So in terms of Peter Parker, I would say that PS4 Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man, and Tom Holland is now... I mean, he was my favorite live-action one. I don't have that affinity for Tobey Maguire. I definitely have no affinity for Andrew Garfield either. So yeah, Tom Holland has so far been my favorite of the live action Peter Parkers. So yeah, he did a fantastic job. He's always so good, so good in these Marvel movies. MJ, I really liked in this movie. She was definitely. I think that they changed her up though. They from if you've seen Homecoming and now you see this one, you see that they've changed her a lot. I don't know if it's because of the snapping or how much time it's passed, but you can definitely feel like she's the most changed character in the entire movie. Ned, yeah, he's cool. He's cool. He's always funny and all that. Fury, I kind of want to talk about Fury, but I don't want to talk about Fury because it entails spoilers. So just know that he's still his Furiness, but there is something odd about him. There is something off that was started in Captain Marvel. They've kind of dumbed him down a bit, but not really. And I'll get to it in spoilers discussion. Aunt May and Happy Hogan. Jesus H. Christ. Aunt May. Jesus H. Christ. Woo! I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know if I'll even put this in the video or not. Because, I'm gonna have everybody just, saying stuff about me or something. I don't know. Anyways, Aunt May. Pretty good. I know that some people are like, that's not the Aunt May that I know and love. Yeah, well, whatever. I don't care. I definitely do love this Aunt May. Mm-hmm. Happy Hogan, still great as always. It's always great to see Jon Favreau in this role, especially because he directed the first two Iron Mans. He kickstarted this whole thing, so it's just great to still see him doing this character. And if you've seen the trailers, you know that he gets gets a little bit emotional at one point during the trailer and also in the movie. It just feels like Iron Man was his baby, and like truly his baby, and that he feels proud of that. And I really love him in this movie and in this franchise, and I hope that he keeps coming back. Man, I'm tiptoeing and I'm just swerving around talking about this and that and trying not to spoil anything. Just know that it's a good movie. I recommend it. If you're a Spider-Man fan, if you're a Marvel fan, you're obviously gonna go see this. I don't have to tell you this. You've already seen it. Even before me. I think that this movie will work well for the casual fans. I think that us much more diehard comic fans, we're gonna enjoy it, or maybe we won't. I've seen some opinions on the internet. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I've seen some opinions. It's definitely not the worst Spider-Man movie. It's definitely not the best, honestly. I think that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse elevated the status of Spider-Man so much. Even though it was an animated movie, it did so much, so well with not only its animations, but obviously its themes and basically everything. In every aspect of that movie, it was pure spider bliss. And I feel like this one, it could have, but that first half, again, not a bad movie, not a bad first half, just a little bit too generic, if I'm perfectly honest. Although, if you watch the movie, you'll know why they set up what they set up at the first half of the movie. But still, it could have used a little bit more effort put into it, I think. It often felt like it was two different either directors, either two different movies or something. I don't know. I just know that I enjoyed the second half way more. It was so much more creative, so much more inspiring. It was much more of what I wanted the entire movie to be. So yeah. Do I recommend this movie? For everybody? Yes, I absolutely recommend it to everybody. Casuals, non-casuals, diehards, non-diehards, spider nuts. That... why? No. I did not... No, Jesus H. Christ. Spidey aficionados or whatever. Yes, go watch it. You're gonna watch it. You already watched it. I already said this. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. I just can't talk about this movie right without talking spoilers, man. It's just like Avengers Endgame, although that one was a much more bigger burden to carry, not talk about spoilers. This one, there you definitely have to stay after the credits, because I'm still trying to figure out what the hell all of this means now. You know, like, I'm not hyping it up like other people have. Like, yeah. I think that if you've seen the other movies, I think that you know where this is going. Maybe, perhaps. If you've read a comic, you also know where this is going. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. But the first mid-sequence credits sequence scene, whatever the hell that thing is called. Oh my god. Oh my god. You gotta watch that. I can't even say what you've watched because that would be spoiling it. If you've watched other Marvel movies and other Spider-Man movies and all this stuff, you gotta watch it. That's all I gotta say. If anything, just watch it for the mid-credit scene. Just pay full price just for the mid-credit scene alone. You know? I don't know. I've been rambling on too long. Almost 20 minutes of tiptoeing around here and there just to say, go watch the movie if you haven't. Give Disney your money. Not that they need it, because they're already... they already have too much power, guys. I don't know. But hey, Disney, if you want to give me some of that moolah, you know, hit me up. Hit me up over at youtube.com/themysteryroomx. That's this YouTube channel right here. Remember, I'm still doing the Resident Evil 1000 subs challenge thing, Bob. If the channel gets to 1000 subscribers, I will play the first Resident Evil, the HD version, for the first time. I've never played a Resident Evil game. I've never had any intention of playing a Resident Evil game. I don't like spooky stuff. I don't like horror stuff. I don't like none of that shit. And I also get very... I get scared easily is what I'm getting at. So if you want to torture me and you want to see me jumping and screaming and yelling and probably getting excommunicado from my own home for screaming and yelling and just, you know, being an annoyance, then please subscribe to the channel. Watch my other videos. My Godzilla spoilers discussion that we had a couple of weeks ago. I'm currently going through Crash Team Racing, starting Bloodstained Ritual of the Night soon, over on twitch.tv/The Mystery Room as well. Give us a follow there too. I live stream on some days, you know, whenever my real life work permits it. You know, I'm live streaming, but maybe give us a like at the Facebook page, our Twitter page, whatever. Just do whatever you want. Like, share, subscribe, do the thing. I don't know what else to say. Just go watch the movie, maybe. Go watch my other videos as well. That's all I wanted to say. Anyways, I will have a spoilers discussion to finally be able to talk about everything that I couldn't talk about in this movie in the coming days with my second command and best buddy, AMG. So until then, may your hearts be your guiding key. And remember to thwip, thwip. Thwippity, twip, 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 twip it. I just can't. All my fingers move at the same time. Anyway, end the video.